That's too bad.
Welcome to MsMojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 times Chuck was the worst on Gossip Girl.
I don't want you anymore. And I can't see why anyone else would. I was hoping we could discuss what you have planned for my room. I did what I had to win.
No.
I can't let my feelings cost me all that I've built.
For this list, we'll be looking at the most inappropriate, terrible, or questionable things Chuck Bass did on the hit CW drama. We're also issuing a spoiler warning. What are your thoughts on Chuck? Let us know in the comments. Number 10. The way he treats Lily after Bart dies. After Bart dies, Chuck is in a really dark place.
Hey! What the hell are you doing here?
Excuse me?
He takes it out on everyone around him, namely Lily. He blames her for his dad's death and makes sure to tell her so.
No, it's no one's fault.
Yes, it is. It's your fault. His blood is on your hands.
She was going to leave him for Rufus, and Bart was on his way to talk to her when he died. What he basically calls her at the funeral and the wake is pretty tasteless.
I know you're upset, but we all really need each other right now.
Don't touch me, whore.
To be fair, Chuck's relationship with Bart and the concept of family was always a complicated one, and he's grieving. But Lily tries so hard to be kind and motherly, and he pushes her away so viciously.
I can't look at you, Lily. You disgust me.
Charles.
Disrespecting your marriage. Betraying my father with Rufus Humphrey.
I did no such thing.
Thankfully, these two eventually patch things up and truly become family. Number 9. That's too bad response. Blair does everything she can to be there for Chuck after his father's death.
Whatever you're going through, I want to be there for you.
We talked about this. You are not my girlfriend.
He's being distant and cold, yet she refuses to give up on him. She actually ends their game and tells him she loves him.
I will stand by you through anything.
Why would you do that?
Because I love you.
It should be a moment of light amidst the darkness, but he's in such a bad place, he responds.
That's too bad.
Sure, he's struggling with Bart's passing, but that doesn't make this remark any less cruel, especially considering how Blair puts her ego aside to tell him how she feels. Instead of letting her in, he completely shuts her out. Later on, he goes to her in bad shape and she comforts him despite his nasty behavior. If that's not love, we don't know what is. Number 8. When he goes after Blair behind Nate's back.
Where's Nate?
I think we just broke up.
What?
I don't want to talk about it. I just want to escape.
Chuck and Blair are an iconic couple, but their start has a questionable aspect we sometimes overlook. When Nate and Blair break up, she goes to see Chuck at the burlesque club and does a dance on stage that mesmerizes him. They sleep together and Cher is born. Except he's supposed to be Nate's best friend, so it's actually a pretty shady move. He also continues pursuing Blair behind his back afterward.
Did you consider avoiding me over breakfast?
Sorry, but as is tradition, on the day before my birthday, I'm heading to the jeweler's to put some pieces on hold for Eleanor and
Nate? Oh, I don't think I'll be singing happy birthday this year.
It seems to be the first time Chuck has real feelings for a girl, and it's hard not to root for them. But it's also impossible to ignore the lies and disregard for his supposedly sacred friendship. No matter how you slice it, that's just not okay.
Care to make a wager? If he calls, I'll leave you alone forever. If he doesn't, you'll spend the night with me.
Number 7. When he shames Blair on Gossip Girl. Blair might be pregnant and she's not sure if Chuck or Nate is the potential father.
Oh, don't stop on my account.
Oh, I have to. Secondhand smoke is bad for the
I'm not pregnant. So goodbye mistakes so far in my past I can hardly remember.
It's revealed to be a false alarm and she tells Chuck to move on from her. Angry that she's choosing Nate over him, he sends a tip to Gossip Girl exposing how the pregnancy test was hers and that she slept with 2 guys in 1 week. This is how Nate finds out about Chuck and Blair and she becomes a social pariah. When she goes to him defeated, he actually compares her to one of his father's Arabian horses.
You held a certain fascination when you were beautiful, delicate, and untouched. But now you're like one of the Arabians my father used to own.
He basically tells her that he's not interested since she's not pure anymore, whatever that means. It's crude and callous behavior on his part all around.
I don't want you anymore. And I can't see why anyone else would.
Number 6. When he abandons Blair all summer. Chuck Bass can break hearts as quickly as he can melt them.
Chuck Bass is a romantic.
Who knew?
Now you do. That's all that matters.
He woos Blair, and they decide to pursue a relationship and go to Europe together. That is, until Bart gets in his head. He tells him that having a real girlfriend will make him an adult.
Having a real girlfriend will force you to learn about responsibility, sacrifice, being faithful, taking into account somebody else's feelings, not just your own.
His father views this as a positive thing, but it's Chuck's worst nightmare. Faced with the prospect that his days of debauchery could be over, he chickens out. Instead of meeting Blair, he just leaves her stranded on the helipad alone and goes off with another woman.
What's this?
I was hoping we could discuss what you have planned for my room.
He tells Blair he's running late and will meet her in Europe. Of course, he's lying and never does. It's a return to his old ways, and it's a shame.
I guess his dad is getting in late and he won't be able to make the flight.
Number 5, when he hooked up with Jenny. Blair has to make a choice, meet Chuck at the Empire State Building or lose him. She decides to go, but Dorota goes into labor, so she's late.
My water break.
Oh my god.
Holy.
Chuck is gone when she arrives. Apparently the kids in the city can text Gossip Girl, but not each other.
Hi, I'm meeting a young man here, probably in a bow tie, possibly carrying peonies.
Thinking she's rejected him, Chuck sleeps with Jenny. It's a colossal betrayal to Blair. Little J is her nemesis, and he should have waited more than 15 minutes for her. Plus, Jenny is 16 and vulnerable, while he's an adult. When Blair shows up, he acts like nothing's wrong.
Blair, what are you doing here?
What are you doing? Is there someone in there?
Oh, nobody.
The truth does eventually come out as he's about to propose, and a devastated Blair leaves him. It's an affair to remember, and not in a good way.
You didn't.
Blair.
You did.
Number 4, when he exchanges Blair for his hotel.
I want my hotel back. Name your price.
Jack Bass has Chuck's hotel, and the young Bass wants it back. When it turns out Jack's price is Blair, Chuck agrees.
I will do anything.
Well, there was something that caught my eye.
Instead of scheming with Blair to defeat Jack, he lies to her. He pretends he doesn't know that Jack is propositioning her, and later claims it would have been obvious they were working together if he had told her his plan in advance.
I'd have done anything to help you. All you had to do was ask.
If I asked, it wouldn't have worked.
Thinking he has no clue, she agrees to have sex with Jack. He kisses her and then stops, because what he really wanted was to ruin their relationship.
I told Chuck I'd take either you or the hotel. He chose to give me you.
When she realizes Chuck played her, she's understandably heartbroken. Not only did he lie to her, but he also treated her like property.
I did what I had to win.
No.
I can't let my feelings cost me all that I've built.
It's no wonder she walks away. We would have too.
Goodbye, Chuck.
Number 3, what he tried to do to Serena. Chuck sees Serena at the bar and tries to flirt with her.
Love it when you talk dirty.
You just love when a girl talks to you.
Actually, I prefer them when they're not talking.
She's not interested and replies that she'd rather eat something. He offers her a fancy sandwich from the kitchen, and when she accepts, he tries to sleep with her, as if a sandwich entitles him to sex.
Well, if you're looking for a way to thank me, I've got a couple ideas.
It's a sandwich, Chuck.
He tells her he saw her and Nate hooking up at the Shepherd wedding, as if that somehow means she should now sleep with him too.
You worried Nate'll find out?
He keeps coming on to her. She refuses his advances, but he doesn't listen and tries to force himself on her.
Stop it.
No! Luckily, she manages to push him off and rush out of the hotel. If they were trying to make Chuck the villain of the first season, they certainly succeeded.
Get off of me!
Number 2, what he tried to do to Jenny.
Let's go and talk somewhere quiet.
At the Kiss on the Lips party, Chuck lures Jenny into a quiet spot to talk. He kisses her, but she makes it clear she doesn't want to do anything.
So, you said you wanted to talk. What did you want to talk about?
How into you I am.
He pretends to understand, but she realizes he's dangerous and texts Dan for help. When Serena and Dan arrive, they find Chuck on the roof with Jenny and thankfully manage to stop him from doing something unspeakable.
Hey, Jenny!
Chuck, get off of her!
It's extremely predatory behavior and unfortunately standard for Chuck. After all, when Serena finds out Jenny is with him, she instantly knows what's happening.
It's a party. Things happen. Who are you anyway?
Even he later realizes how reprehensible it is, eventually apologizing to Jenny over a year later. Too little, too late, or better late than never. You decide.
I never apologized what happened last year. I deeply regret my actions of that night.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications. Number 1. When he shoves Blair and punches the window.
What are you doing here?
I need to ask you something.
Get out of here.
Chuck and Blair have a complicated story, and it takes a lot before he becomes her prince. There's a party, and Blair, who is with Prince Louis, needs to gain his mother's approval. Chuck crashes to try and win her back, but makes a scene and embarrasses her in front of the royals instead.
It's not me who's disrespecting these fine people, it's you. Pretending you're going to marry this French phony, it's a joke.
Louis proposes anyway, and she accepts. When she goes to tell Chuck, he becomes possessive and violent. He pushes her and punches the glass wall behind her, cutting her face.
Mine, Blair.
Stop it, Chuck! I said it's over.
At this point, one could only wonder, will he ever learn that Blair isn't his property to keep or give away? The possessive ex-boyfriend with a temper is not a good look on anyone, not even Chuck Bass. Do you agree with our picks? Check out this other recent clip from MsMojo and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.